In 2012, Xi Jinping has launched the anti-corruption campaign, showing his ambition to fight corruption. Since then, over 1 million officials were disciplined. Are you interested in studying one of the cases with me? Let's start. Liu Zhijun, the former railway minister of China, and Ding Shumao, a businesswoman, were corrupted. Due to their misconduct, they were being persecuted. Let's watch the news report and know more about the details of this case.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 7 o'clock CCCH News Reports. I'm your news reporter, Florence Yu. Liu Zhijun, the former railway minister of China. He entered the railway ministry as a low-level bureaucrat in 1972, while he joined the Chinese Communist Party in the next year. He was given the nickname Great Leap Liu, as he thought that China should increase her capacity and technology of railway rapidly to achieve high standards like other developed countries. By 2013, high-speed railway in China has been built across over 5,000 miles of land in the country, more than anywhere else in the world. Yet, in February 2011, Liu was placed under investigation of the CDDI as he was suspected of abusing his position to receive very large bribes. He was then expelled from the Communist Party in May 2011. In 2013, the Beijing court has sentenced Liu Zhijun to death with a 2-year reprieve for bribery and abuse of power. More importantly, the court also deprived him for political rights for life and confiscated all his personal property. For Liu Zhijun's property, it included 16 cars and more than 350 flats, which are around
64 million renminbi.
However, in 2015, the prison authorities said Liu Zhijun has expressed repentance and has made no intentional offenses during the reprieve. Therefore, Liu's penalty has reduced. On 14th December 2015, Liu Zhijun's death sentence was commuted to life imprisonment. For Ding Shumao, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison by the Intermediate People's Court for bribery and illegal business operations.
Do you find this corruption case shocking? This case actually caused great impacts. First, let's talk about the social impact. Ding Shumao gave bribes to Liu Zhijun to win railway projects, but what she has done was neglecting the public safety, as the companies which won the bids may not be qualified. Also, Liu Zhijun raised the operating speed of the railway improperly and compressed the construction schedule of the railway, which turned out to cause some serious accidents. In 2008, the train collision in Shandong province killed 72 people, and 416 people were injured. Similarly, in 2011, the high-speed train crash in Guangzhou killed 40 people, and at least 192 people were injured. Apart from the society, there was impact on the company itself. In order to build a wider coverage of railway in China, Liu Zhijun spent most of the money on the railway development. As a result, the working conditions and salaries of the grassroots workers were undermined. The salaries of the workers became lower than the society's average salaries, so it led to dissatisfaction of workers. Now, let's talk about the political aspect. The corruption case actually undermines the governor's authority. Liu Zhijun was a senior official, but he involved in bribery, misbehavior, and misuse of power. The corrupt officials give the public a negative image, so this may reduce people's trust and confidence towards the central government. We have been talking about the negative impacts. Luckily, there is also positive impact. Liu Zhijun was the first ministerial level official to be prosecuted for corruption. This shows the leadership is serious about fighting corruption and can deter the government officials to corrupt. Under any circumstances, corruption brings a lot of negative impacts. Definitely, we have to fight against corruption. So, we can think about the possible solutions in both the general cases and the Liu Zijun and Ding Shumao case. There are many kinds of preventions, like promoting justice, eradicating the atmosphere of bribery in Chinese society, increasing the transparency in government institutions, imposing heavier penalty to the officials. Not only Liu, but his accomplices also. Passing the regulation of property declarations of officials in order to check their property amounts. Setting an offense reporting system to let other insiders to report the civil servants who involved in corruptions. And raising civil servant salary periodically. If officials can afford living on their own income, they will be less easier to get tempted to corrupt in order to obtain the extra money. All of these methods work in general, but they don't focus on the rudimentary reason of Liu's case. So let's wipe it out. Here comes with solutions that are specific to Liu Zijun case. What leads Liu Zhijun to corrupt after accomplishing railway miracle is the illegitimate business interests and relationships with large companies, which is abusing his administrative power of receiving large bribes. This indicates the root reason why corruption would have been able to flourish in China, the concentration of power. Liu was the highest level bureaucrat who was in charge in high-speed railway, which is one of the most important infrastructures in the country. The nation distributes lots of resources to the railway development, as well as allows Liu had the superior power over all related issues, such as project bidding, and this phenomenon enables Liu to obtain personal gain by selling the country out. Therefore, in order to prevent the recurrence of Liu's case, the first thing to do is separation of power, which is also plugging the loophole in current administrative system. All political authority is divided into different branches to limit any one branch to overuse their powers. It impedes officials from abusing their authority easily and allows all civil departments operate under the surveillance. Eventually, the chance of corruption will be reduced. By studying Liu Zijun case, we know more about the forms of corruption, the development of corruption networks, and the impacts of corruption. We really hope that the intensity of corruption in China will be reduced.